Here we
I'm
go.
sharing mine.
Hey everyone. Hi YouTube. Today's date is October 11th, and this is Tuesday, the working team meeting of Cardano for Climate. And I'll hand it over to Jorn.
Perfect. Thank you everyone for being here. We mark this today in the meeting. We have an exciting session today. Very exciting. I mean, overall, I mean, previous agenda. I don't know if we have it. Where do we have it?
It's usually at the very top, in the top section there, very top. Keep going back up. It's good for up to the top of the page.
I'm in the top. I'm in the top. I'm in the top. The top of the top.
Okay, so see at the very bottom there, previous agenda. Yeah, right there.
Of course.
Oh, it's good when somebody else goes through this, because then you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
So accounting, Miro Andre, I mean, Fund 7 events and budget. Okay, the good news is that we got for the closing report of Fund 7, we got the funds.
Nice.
So well done on that. Thanks to Nori, Cole, and a little bit myself.
And we already documented everything in GitHub and Gitbook.
Okay, perfect. And we need to do the same probably next week or the week after for Fund 8, some of the Fund 8 ones. But we already have the baseline for that. It should be quite easy. So that's on that side. Anything else to add on the accounting part now? I mean,
Melanie meant there was one section on that monthly events, that last part for the preparation. We just divided it in 4. So I don't know, maybe you guys need to discuss that.
Need to look at the percents. It's not quite 25% each.
Yes.
That makes it easy, but we'll take a look at that today. Yeah, in the accounting, or you might have something else to take. Yeah. And then,
it was
sorry, go ahead.
Please. No, it was a busy week last week. So, I mean, as you can see, I mean, then we'll go to this week meeting, but website planning by Nori. I mean, it was a busy week. I don't know if we need to go through that now. We went through that last week, right? Unless there's something special to mention from last week.
The purpose of the agenda review is not really to talk about each and everything. It's just to remind us and reconnect to that energy and that space so that we can carry those over to today. So it'd be really quick just to review and just say there was.
Okay, so we had the documentation on the website by Nori and the collaboration standard proposal, which is very important. Then a session about the event planning session, and then I was not actually last week. I think one of the week that I was not there. And then we had Little Fish.
Just to call out for the event, we agreed to merge the October-November event and just focus on the summit as our big event for the 2 months.
Perfect. And that, we'll go into that in today's discussion, I think.
After last week, sorry, Yoram, after last week, I went in, put in the very bottom of that box. I kept going to try and do sort of some quick format for the meetups that we could just sort of plunk stuff in. And then we'll cover that more today. Hopefully, you know, what the purpose of our meetup is, what it should look like going forward, you know, just the general things. And anybody can jump in and go, okay, we do need to do a Cardano for Climate update. We're working on collaboration this month. How do we do that? We've got sprints going on or something, right? Okay, and this is cool. So Newman, is this what you did at the bottom?
Oh, let's see.
YouTube summary?
Yeah, that's just, I just copied the YouTube summary so that I didn't have to go and look at it. So I think
that's incredible, you know, because to put the YouTube links all in this agenda document makes it really easy. The attendance, all that stuff for the record keeping going forward. So thank you for that. Very cool.
Perfect. So I close that and we come back to today's meeting. Accounting. So I don't know, Andre and Miro, if you have further update, but basically one thing we discussed now is, again, to actually have a dedicated meeting about the accounting again and kind of, yeah, try to advance there. Because if we speak about it now, will take a lot of time, and yeah, so basically a dedicated one.
Give it
the-
5 minutes. So we should give it some time and maybe we
Please.
just touch on some stuff.
Please.
Yes. Okay, that makes, I think a dedicated meeting makes sense because there is a few things we have to do that because we received those closeout funds, we need to go through all the percentages for the weekly events. We haven't done that. For the monthly events, there's just that small section we also need to go through just to decide how to allocate that funds for the preparation. So I think that's it for the Fund 7. Okay. Oh, and the Fund 7 hub proposal we also have to look at. So if we can do all that in that accounting meeting, I think we would be good.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
maybe
we'll be
the
able
goal
to.
this week to close out all Fund 7 so that we only have Fund,
Yes.
and then work towards at least the hub and the events for Fund 8 to get those closed out
Yes.
within a week too, because I think it'd be great to just do the
Yeah.
closeout videos and come to an agreement on how it's going to be divided. And then we just have impact onboarding and community collaboration standards to work on. And I think that's stuff that we can use to fund some stuff that we've been doing, but also some stuff for the community over the next little while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
And
So
Andre,
Yeah,
sorry, I was working on a spreadsheet. You know, I'd love to get together with you and just sort of share what I've got and then just
Yes.
see if it makes sense and if we could kind of work on something before this meeting. And then, and anybody'd be welcome to do it. It's just trying to make sense of the information as a percent.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
taking out the USD exchange whenever possible. So
Yes.
I agree with that. We should only do the USD exchange if we're paying for something that somebody pays for out of pocket, like a Miro bill or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When would you like to have this accounting meeting?
So I'm available. Do we have Gimbal Labs after this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
important one today.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then 1 hour after that?
We have an hour between Gimbal and Playground, so we could do it then if
In-
people...
We have a
In
proof of life meeting.
okay. So Andre,
Maybe.
I could skip out of the first part of this meeting with Gimbal Labs. Are you going, Andre, to the Gimbal Labs one?
No.
So maybe we take 15 minutes just to go over stuff real quick.
Yeah,
For this part?
I'm not sure it will take 15 minutes. That's the
No,
only
no, for
challenge.
me,
Yeah,
for me and
Ah,
Andre, just to
okay,
meet with
okay.
him and then we figure out another meeting. What's the next
Okay.
available slot?
Is there some time Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday is quite full, right? Unless we do,
A breakout room, but
no.
that's kind of hard.
And I mean, Wednesday before our meeting is possible.
Town hall is kind of on a cooldown period. We could do it during town hall or after the
Yeah.
first half hour or whatever.
So plan at 14:30 is supposed to be the end of our meetup. And would that work? That's the half hour before town hall. Should have a break in between our meetup and town hall.
Yeah. Although I think we need more than a half hour probably to hammer through some of these things.
Right. So maybe if someone in our group checks in to see if town hall is actually happening.
It is. They said they were going to do it, but it's
Oh.
more of a casual town hall since it is the cooldown period. So maybe there's half an hour if people want to see the slides, and then we can dive in.
So
If-
after half hour
the
into town hall,
The only thing we need to check if there is interest in
proposals or
no
projects.
discussion in because there is some discussions going on. I'm not sure, by the way, but there's going to be, but that's the only thing. But yeah, let's do it after the meeting tomorrow.
The half hour?
Newman, half hour and then we continue. I don't know what's, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it makes sense, but Nori, you know if there is something special, no? Tomorrow.
No, I'm not in the loop right for during cooldown, so.
Okay.
But I'm guessing there's not going to be a lot since we're supposed to be in cooldown. So when
sounds good.
town hall goes into
Sure.
breakout rooms, maybe we can just create our own Zoom at that point and hop in rather than go to the discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so
Okay.
we've got,
Unless, yeah.
so
If
we've
that
got,
works for the treasury guys.
are we going to do it after the meetup half hour or just wait till after we figure out what's happening with town hall?
We'll do I'm proposing doing it as our private after town hall.
Yeah.
Okay, so private after town hall, it gives us a break before town hall. And if not, backup plan is possibly Thursday. But let's not worry about that until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also, guys, prepare some document for you. So maybe you can check in the Zoom. I posted already.
Awesome.
Sorry, where is it?
It's in
In Zoom, in chat.
Okay,
all right. I'll add that to the, can we add that to the agenda?
Yep.
As the
Yes.
So this I edit where I put it in here. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. You did it before me. Okay. Perfect. So that we are going to continue tomorrow. And Newman, you're joining us to that meeting, right?
Yep, I can come after town hall.
Okay. Good. Good. We need you there. Review Wednesday meetup.
I snuck that in earlier. So if you just scroll down to the bottom, just
Yeah.
keep scrolling down to the bottom, there should be, oh, right there. So, oh, you just scrolled too fast.
No, sorry.
There we go.
So
Wednesday, October 12th, suggestions. Really quick. We could do this really quick.
So here, collaboration connection, Cardano Summit coming. I think Cardano Summit is a key one to discuss, but yeah, question what we want to do around that. Maybe one idea that I have, and Raido, tell me if you want, we would like to push more the lead generation, and we want to have your experience so far. If that makes sense for you about the lead generators and that you got some funding already, if that's okay with everyone to push that again.
So we have also Juan from Innovatio ready to
he's
do a
joining
small
us tomorrow?
presentation, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because we put him off last week for this coming one. I think he even has slides. So
Okay,
there's that.
perfect.
That's the collaboration and connection part, right?
Yeah. I think that's great. So his name is Juan, no? Juan from Innovatio. Why it's coming in different colors?
It's red. No, yeah. If you just go at.
Okay.
I might be in the wrong.
Yeah, so Yorm, do you want to speak about it now or later? What do you mean?
No, I think tomorrow on Wednesday.
Tomorrow
in the
Wednesday,
call. Yeah, if you are coming tomorrow to the meeting, I think it's good to discuss it and yeah, explain what you did, explain what happened. I think it can be a good use case. If it's okay with everyone, because we spoke about it before, so if it's okay with everyone.
And that would be Raido, that you would give like a little use case.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, we really want to generate more leads and see who can jump in, and it's a good opportunity. So Raido and Bruno was very active. I should get some lead from Asia by now. From the
Sorry, I just messed that up there a little bit. Hang on a second. I'm just trying to put them in order, right? Connection, collaboration, Cardano Summit. What are we doing for that one?
So there, I have an update about it also. I spoke with Alex this morning. We for the real, everything is real, but for the physical session here, we might have breakout rooms, kind of meeting rooms, and we start to do a few sessions. One about Cardano4Climate related projects that are there, like Sean will be there, and some other will be there, and Impact Scope will be there. So
is it in Lausanne?
in Lausanne, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Peter started kind of reach out to many people and said that he wants to organize a meetup around RealFi in the summit as well. So that's kind of another session. So we spoke with Alex that we can have few sessions basically, and people can suggest which session to do, but we can have physical sessions and maybe have them linked to, try to have them linked to that people can join in real time from other places.
If we could combine that with our idea of a global Zoom stage and maybe live stream that at the same time, then that would be amazing to be able to capture all that.
I love that. So I think we need to,
can we bring this up tomorrow at the meetup?
Yeah,
like
because we need to start planning the global Zoom stage, right? Who will do when, who will, kind of have a schedule for that and fill it up. And
yeah. And David has reached out to us too. So it'd be nice to be able, because if Cardano Foundation has 1,000-person Zoom account, they might. That would be really amazing to be able to borrow that to have space, because we tap out at 100 and I know we're going to hit that. So
so
we
need
how to go
reply
live on YouTube too, but that's 100 isn't enough for sure.
Yeah.
So for tomorrow's meetup, then some sort of a summary, Yoram update, because that could be the, this is all part of the collaboration right there. If we make it part of the meetup, then it opens it up more for the community.
Yeah.
And then
definitely.
Okay, does that look good for the meetup? Just to stay on track.
And then lead generation, then we can have a breakout room, because it depends how much time Juan from Innovatio need to speak. But it gets great to have him tomorrow.
Okay, so then lead generator, breakout room. I've just got it in the bottom section. And then summit planning, maybe.
Yeah.
Any other ideas for breakout rooms?
For me, one idea that came, first of all, one breakout room can be around Nori, I don't know if you want to take it, but again, around the website and all the things that we're trying to do there. Another.
Yeah, I would rather focus on the event and get everything.
Okay. Yeah.
We can do the website on Fridays.
Yeah.
Okay, so the summit planning, because that's the other thing. When we do these breakout rooms at the meetup, they can change depending on what people want to do, right? So the idea for the meetup tomorrow around collaboration, Cardano Summit, impact lead generation, I've got breakout rooms at the very bottom. And then if you just scroll through meetup possible format on the hour starting, welcome and overview, check-in, C4C catalyst and Cardano updates, presentation, whoever that might be, community engagement, links and schedule, breakout rooms. How do we want tomorrow's meetup to look? Does that work?
Yeah, I think focus kind of lead to a focus in the session in the end in about the summit makes a lot of sense. I mean, we have only 6 weeks to go. And so that makes a lot of sense.
So do we want to take that in the C4C and Catalyst and Cardano updates at 5 to 15 minutes in there? That's going to be the summit focus, right?
Yeah.
I'm also looking at timing wise, summit focus. Juan comes in with a presentation. I'm not sure how long he'll be. And then we also have the
and if you want, I can share with the community. I can, sorry, what we have, sorry? The impact lead generation, yeah. I can also share with the community what does it mean to, how, just my experience from building bridges and going around and presenting me as Cardano4Climate and the feedback you get and just the process that I'm going through, because I think it's quite interesting. And I don't know if you guys think it's useful, just can try to speak a little bit about this experience.
So minute-wise, summit focus, that, where do we want it? First? After?
I think it's good to start with Juan.
Start with Juan. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And then we, again, I mean, the impact generator, we can mention it a few minutes and give the use case of Raido and then just have the links if people want more information and then focus on the summit.
So that's going to be a 5 minutes there, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll find out from Juan. He has, I think he sent me a slide deck. I'll just confirm. So we go with 10 minutes for Juan. Would that work? If we ask him for 10 at the most?
Yeah.
And then we have summit focus, which is going to be a much bigger 15 minutes. Yes, no, 10?
Yeah, about the summit, I mean, sorry, yeah. The
And
summit,
then,
I think, will take a little more time because we need to do two things there, right? Yeah, no, please, what's in your mind? I'm trying to.
no, I'm going to just do this. So check-in, do we want to do, we do the normal check-in. This could actually be moved. I've got a 5 to 10 minute space in there. We could move that, and that we have the community engagement introductions and connections towards the end before the breakout room.
Check-in being the sort of people saying
who's new, what are you here for? If it's a bigger crowd, we got to be a little bit careful about that because that could end up being, 20 minutes. Or we do that towards the end of the meeting.
Let's see how many people there are. If there's a lot, if there's many new people, we can have it in the end of the meeting, and then maybe have a breakout room for new people even, and then we add those speak about the summit or.
Okay, because that happened last week that, there's a few new people. Irene was one of them, and the meeting ended and she was gone. So thankfully she's still around. So if it's just one or two new people, one new person.
Layli should come as well, at least. And maybe Umayyar as well, and maybe Rolf as well, but I will write them and remind them that it will happen.
Raido, you're amazing at that, and thank you for that. So we'll probably end up doing this towards the end, before the breakout rooms. It would make more sense, right? Or we do a quick check in, the 1 minute one.
It's always nice to start that way. It gets people in the mood to talk, and it's not like heavily cognitively demanding if you have some kind of icebreaker question or just what brings you here today.
Perfect.
Especially for
so what's the question?
Be anything. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Is my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, what brings you here today might be a little bit long. Let's leave that to the end. Newman, if you're doing that. What's your favorite ice cream? But do we want to do that, or do we want to do,
a check-in? How are you feeling today?
Yeah, what? So we could ask, but it's a 1 minute max.
Yeah.
And then it goes 5 to 10 minutes. So who's new? Okay. Anything else?
What you could do is say, we're going to have 5 minutes. Anybody who wants to check in, raise their hands, and then let it go for 5 minutes and then just end it.
Yeah, I like that. That's good facilitation. you know, just to say, hey, look, we've got 5 minutes to check in, and that gets people activated. The goal of the check-in can be to sort of get people in the participatory mood, or to sort of break the ice, to kind of warm up the room, get other people's voices on the recording. And then really, yeah, to get, you know, maybe to prime our themes, which are, you know, blockchain technology, activism, doing things towards our common goal, which is climate action. So maybe if we can come up with some good sort of climate or activist.
You're screening your arm, by the way, so we can see what you're doing.
Yeah. You know that I have to do multiple things in my mind, but go for it. Yeah.
So I'm just looking at these different things, presentation by Juan, getting the slides, the links. This is great. Summit Focus, the mural board, having that on a slide. Maybe we can create a slide that just goes from 1 week to the next, kind of like the C4C GTBBL, with all the links in it, wherever social media.
It'd also be nice to coordinate local summit stuff happening as well. And if we can get speakers in and do stuff like tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. if you're interested, Melanie, there's a kickoff meeting for the Vancouver Cardano Summit to plan what we want to do there.
Please remind me. I would love to go to that.
Yeah,
Is
there's
that
another thing. Yeah.
Is that the Pacific Town Hall links or not?
No, it's completely different. It's run through an
Perfect.
ambassador in Vancouver who's kicked
Okay.
it off.
Another thing we said is how we make sure in every local summit there is an impact person, right? Or impact proposal or something like that.
Yeah.
That's something those we want. Yeah.
We're gonna get people through there for sure.
Yeah, and to that end, did you all see the email from David Taylor? I can just read it. We're starting to pull together the impact track. Basically what he wants is the people who are attending local events and who will be there in Luzon, yeah. And so if we can start to collect that from the people to attend and create like a list, even if it's, you know, small, you know, we need to start it, and it can grow as people move through.
I think it'd be also great to let David know about the global stage that we're wanting to put up and see if the CF can help with that. At the very least with marketing it, to say, hey, there's a global stage.
Where do you have it on our folders, the event? We have it in projects or under?
It would be under projects.
Projects.
Cardano
Summit.
Yeah.
Okay, because maybe we can open here another Excel and say who is coming where, right? Who will be where, and let the community fill it up.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or we could tie it to a form to make it easy to fill out.
Okay, so we need to create a form.
So that's I'm putting that in for tomorrow. You know, the form. Who's going to create the form, and what do you need? Because I can do that if you need it.
I think. Are you going to any of the Cardano Summit events? Is it a local event? Is it the main Lausanne event?
Yeah.
And then.
Would you like to present something there?
Yeah.
And that's
so
it.
Someone going to create that, because I don't know I can remember that unless you give me those.
Yeah, I can create that today sometime.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, that will be wonderful. Okay, so.
So sorry,
Perfect.
I'm just looking at the meetup tomorrow. I put down notes on the summit. Who wants to lead that area, Summit Focus, tomorrow? Yoram, Nori, everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind to introduce it and speak about it, and then you know, give the link to the. You mean the breakout room, or what do you mean?
No, the main presentation on the summit, because Nori is covering the part about the local and the global stage.
I'm happy to do those parts.
Yeah.
But if Yoram wants to talk about the in-person Lausanne stuff, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I can speak about the in-person event.
So Yoram, introduce the idea, Nori, and then we'll probably all possibly jump in a bit on it.
Mhm.
This could actually become quite collaborative. That summit focus could turn into community engagement with ideas, really.
Yeah.
Right? So
Mhm.
maybe we combine that too with the community engagement, and that'll allow us more time, 20 to 25 minutes possibly. I haven't looked at the schedule, but.
Yeah,
And then
can have,
just the last slides should always have links and schedules to other areas, any kind of link to make sure that we're connecting people where they need to go so they don't get lost in cyberspace.
Yep.
So
And the goal of the website project is to be able to say, go to Cardano4Climate.com and everything.
yes, perfect. Project coming.
So
Cool.
David, who wants to reply to David? I mean, I can reply from Cardano4Climate email, or someone can reply. Just saying thank you for your message. We're preparing some stuff for you and come back to you. And we'll come back to you in a few days with more info.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I'm happy to do that if you want.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
So you want to put that in there, Nori doing that, because then that keeps a record of who's doing what too, right?
Yeah, and then you can present Nori also your idea about the global.
Yeah, that's what I was
summit.
thinking, because that would be something that he hasn't thought about yet.
Perfect.
And David Taylor is the director of marketing for CF. So I think he'd be a good partner to get the word out if we want to get some help there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We're at 20 minutes to go.
Okay. This is
John Buck?
so wait. So we spoke about review the meetup documentation. I think I don't know if you want to cover that now, Nori, or
just quickly, we can work on the website planning stuff during our Friday meetings. But if it starts to turn into a bigger project, I think this is going to be part of the community collaboration standards proposal for sure. So we'll work on that as part of that.
I think that would be even the kind of the summary of the proposal, right? Because a lot of the things will get into there of the standard somehow.
Yeah, that's my hope. If we can create something like Little Fish's Bolt on how we do stuff and how C4C works, that would be amazing.
So just to confirm, the planning for the website is moving mostly to Friday.
Yeah.
Because we can also update that on the slides, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That it includes tokenomics, community collabs, standards, and websites. Okay, perfect.
It's really about our funded proposals too. So I think we should also, maybe before the website gets too far off the ground, we should finish off the Fund 7 stuff and make sure that we're distributing those funds and making sure we're looking at least at the hubs and events for Fund 8. And then,
well, we've promised documentation too, right?
Yeah, that's part of the community collab standards, but the other two are done. So we should figure out how are we going to pay all that.
I can, I mean, Colin, myself, unless someone wants to do them, to join and do them, we'll do the closing reports.
Awesome. I'm happy to help if you need somebody to do the video.
I mean, the video was amazing. I enjoyed you to see you speaking about all these things we did, because we did a lot of things, huh?
Yeah, we did.
That was awesome.
All right.
The code is out this week, but yeah.
And I'm going to actually work a little bit more on the spreadsheet for the accounting. if that's okay. I know I'm not, I've kind of started into it. Where, you know, the documentation that might go along with this reports, possibly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those spreadsheets are accounting documentation.
But thinking of the accounting more as percentages of ADA and our focus on dealing with ADA instead of USD.
Mhm.
So, okay, perfect.
Little fish. So sorry, John
Oh,
back.
John
Yeah.
Buck. So he did send
Yes.
me some more information. It took him a little bit with the idea of having 2-week sprints. Maybe we can touch base actually at the meetup tomorrow on our sprints and where they're at, and that people could actually join in. I'll take a better look at that and put it in the working team, because otherwise we just sort of do it, forget it, and move on. Any
I
thoughts?
think the idea
Juan?
of the sprint is very good. I like the idea a lot.
Mhm.
We just need to define what is in the sprint, right? I mean, because normally in development sprint, you are building a product and you say, okay, towards building the product, we have this sprint and then the next sprint. Here it's kind of ongoing, so work. So
Mhm.
unless we define sprints based on certain kind of cycles, like sprints towards the summit, right? Or sprints towards the website, or
Yeah. I've been thinking about some sprint cadence stuff, and I'm happy to present some ideas on Friday if people want.
yeah, that
Because
would be
I've been
great.
thinking about like 2-week sprints, the kind of key things that anchor the sprints in, from the planning to the reflection and the doing part. And then I'm also right now working, just quizzing my wife because she's really into lunar cycles, and tying that to like 4-week lunar cycles. It matches the calendar nicely, so we don't have weird conflicts with the real world, in quotes. But it also gives us a progress bar in the sky that everybody in our community can look at and go, oh, it's a full moon, it's time to do our demos, or whatever it is.
Or be prepared for something in your life that happens during the full moon, you know,
Exactly.
conflict or something, right?
Yeah, or we just passed our full moon, so now maybe we go into more of a reflective, refining kind of regenerative mode until the next new moon, and then we kick off new stuff. I think those kind of rhythms would be really nice to kind of.
So Yoram, if you scroll down just to, sorry, to the meetup tomorrow, touching base on the sprints, just to keep that going. They've begun. We can work on them a little bit more. Just a little bit further down, please, Yoram.
It's actually very cool.
So just where do we want to talk about the sprints in the meetup?
Could be, I mean, yeah, it could be a breakout room. I mean,
Just back
I-
up a little bit.
kinda
No,
see-
I think it needs, sorry, I shouldn't do that. I've been working with my husband all weekend. It needs to be mentioned in the main meetup, right? That we're working on these sprints to go with.
Yeah, we can mention it in.
Just up a little bit more, I think. Where did we put it? I
Yeah,
just stuck it in there,
sprints, yeah.
sprints. Right after Juan.
Yeah. We
And
give
that
an
would be-
introduction to that, and then we go into another sprint.
And then again, we can link it to the C4C GTBBL. Nori, do you mind taking that? Just
Sure.
as,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's going to be a couple minutes, maybe a little bit more, because I'll add whatever else John Buck had done. Because the other thing is, if we've been given homework and we keep putting it off and we're not reminded of what the homework is, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely we need to do the homework. This is what I tell my kids all the time. But
sorry, go ahead, Yoram.
no, but I come back 1 second to the Luna stuff. I really like it. I mean, it might make sense actually that we start speaking in Cardano4Climate in numeric terms, because I mean that's really related with the climate cycles. And yeah, I don't know if you know, but also some religions are based on lunaric calendar. Obviously, the Jewish and the Christian and the Muslim religion, and actually all the Jewish holidays are based on the moon calendar, lunaric calendar. So anyway, but I think it's very, which the reason for that is basically the agriculture, right? I mean, in the past, it used to be related to the agriculture, so a lot of the holidays are related to agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sorry, Yoram, I just took over your screen share, and then you can do your multitasking.
yeah,
Is that all right?
that's good.
Okay, so
Excellent.
sprints, 2 weeks, we'll touch on it just to keep. The other thing is I really want to honor that John Buck has come in to help us on this. To me, that's huge. The work that Travis and Brian are starting, I just don't want to lose that inertia. So that to me is quite important. And more than, sorry, Newman, more than a breakout room, because yeah. All right. So.
Yeah, but thanks for mentioning that, Yoram. I agree. It does map to a lot of real fundamental kind of ritual, sometimes religious, but also the cycles of nature and our lunar stuff. The moon is important, so timing our sprints to that would be really cool to try out. Plus, there's 13 moon cycles in a year, so it gives us one more cycle than on a monthly cycle. So it's that additional.
And it's something that can unite us. We can even say this is the week of this moon. I mean, you can even have this meeting is in this week of the moon cycle, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Perfect. 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, good that you took the control for me. Yeah.
I don't want to take control from you, Yoram. You can have it back anytime you want it.
No.
I just
control.
figured it would. I'm trying to help.
It's good. It's good. My head goes to multiple directions.
So Ikigai, back to homework. Oh my God, we have a lot of homework. I'm starting to feel like we're back in high school and it's piling up on me.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. I agree. But we're going to have maybe a breakout room for that tomorrow to continue that work.
Thoughts?
Yeah, that might be good. Just you know, just with again to kind of keep up the inertia of it, to introduce it, just a minute to introduce it, to say, hey, look, this is where we are with this project of defining, you know, the organization with this Ikigai model, and then creating a breakout room. And ideally, and I think Melanie, you mentioned this a lot, is like we should butterfly through, like hang out in lead generator and then see what's going on in the summit, see what's, you know, the breakout rooms shouldn't be like breakout jail cells, like where you have to stay there. You're not arrested in a breakout room. So it might be good to put the Ikigai in there, to see if anyone is curious. And, you know, I mean, does someone have to stay in the room? I mean, like how? But yeah, I think that would be a good spot for it.
We do. It's good to mention it during the main body of the event, though, in some way, because that's a huge amount of work again from little fish. So that's something.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's, do we ask Chakan to come in and work it, or is it just a spot for people to get together and work on the homework, which is basically writing down the roles and sort of working through the you know, task roles, organizational units, initiatives of C4C, and into that framework.
So what I'm thinking is actually it's part of the C4C updates, right? What we're doing as C4C, and someone might actually go, oh my God, this is exactly what I want to do. When are you guys meeting? And this is actually, most of this work is also done at the C4C GTBBL, right?
Yeah, well, the Ikigai, we've had 3 live sessions now, and we've kind of moved to this asynchronous homework mode. So at least mentioning it and saying, here's the mural link. If you want to make a box and say John's roles and map out what you think you contribute to the community, that could be a cool way to engage. I see Newman has started. I still have an empty box that I want to work on.
I got 3 more boxes than you. I was like, well, what did Nori do? Okay, there we go.
So I commit to working on that a little bit today, just to get some of those things down.
Box. Okay, so just so the community knows, again, so that we haven't like started something shiny and it gets pushed aside for all the other new shiny projects that we're working on. That's what happens to me anyways. Okay, what else? This was, oh, sorry, this was one thing that I was just thinking, how can we use meetups more effectively? Purpose of the meetups, what are our goals, our mission? After, when I came back from holidays and we had the Way of Council, to me, that was magical. And it's like, how do we get that from, rather than it becoming a lecture and we sit there, get tired, bored, how do we actually get the community engaged more? That was one of the things that I took away from it. I feel like John's meetup last week was also very engaging. It looks like we're lining up for another engaging where the whole community engages. And then it's just so much engagement. We have to break out into smaller groups to get this done. That's kind of what I'm seeing. The cycles fitting in exactly with the sprints now.
Yeah, the last week one was really good actually. So it was very engaging.
Mm-hmm. And how do we keep that going, right? Because otherwise we do an hour presentation, breakout rooms, and then town hall comes along. We sit there for an hour in another, group of breakout rooms. I think it's almost like in between Swarm Saturdays and town hall where we can end up with a lot more engagement. So anyways, that's the purpose. I wrote that last week. Any other thoughts on meetups in general?
Yeah, I think having a key subject for the meetup, I think one of the things that we do is that we do a lot of different things, right? And sometimes it can be overwhelming, right? So like to have a subject like we had 2 weeks ago by Nori or last week, like to have really a key main subject and talk about that for me makes a lot of sense. And instead of covering many things. And then if we have the website project where you can find a lot of things that happen there, we don't need to repeat about all of them, right? We can just somehow, I don't know if it makes sense, but this is why I think you felt so engaged last week and the week before. I mean, it was amazing with perfect timing also. So yeah, might make sense because it has to be a 1 hour of fun also. I mean, fun, it's right. I mean, kind of, you come here because you come and you want to get inspired and enjoy and and share, right? Somehow that's my. So it's a good point that you raised, Melanie, to think about that.
Yeah, I can pick that up. And I think that is something that we can build a container for or support. We can facilitate to make easy. Like that's our goal for engagement, to be inspired. At the end of this meeting, what's changed? You're inspired, you've enjoyed, and it doesn't feel like that you've sat and sort of downloaded, and we can feel enlivened as opposed to deadened, the opposite of enlivened. And it's difficult. I mean, one of the things, like Jorm says, we have a lot of different things. I would love to see like that visualization, like when people come in, when I come in, I can see, oh, and it sort of feels like a Miro board. But here are all the different initiatives, and these are the ones that we're going to talk about. Like that's sort of, you know, because we can't talk about them all, and for the purpose of focus and engagement, these are the things that we choose. Like Jorm says, this theme that might help to sort of, well, one thing about sitting in a meeting is not knowing like what the intention of the meeting is. Like, and then it's kind of like there's brain cycles where it's like a mystery trying to figure out what am I supposed to do, as opposed to something that's very clear. Just by the, you know, the way of facilitation.
I like that. So starting with a overview of what's going on, and today we're kind of touching on this area, and you know something like that, because we know we have lots going on in C4C. So, and then at the end we have the links so that people can connect with it. We can also have the engagement and the connection throughout the meetup. But yeah, creating some sort of a visual for this in the slide deck, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be like a screenshot of the slide deck, but then, I mean, like physically showing it, like if we share the screen and talking about in the meetup, and we say, hey, look, here we are at C4C, and we've got like pictures, like who's here, and then like here's the, you know, maybe even in categories in some type of radial sort of thing, and then you say, oh, here's what I'm dropping into the meeting. It's like, oh, we're going to talk about impact lead generation. We're going to talk about Cardano Summit. We're going to talk about, you know, the little fish and the ikigai. And so then people like actually see it come into the meeting, and then, yeah.
So yeah, starting it up, you know, as a first slide, something like that. This is the bigger picture. And today we're gonna, then it would go into what you do with the overview. What we're doing today makes sense. I'm also cognitive at the time. I think it's 9. And does anybody have the link to the Gimbal Labs?
Let me see if I can bring that up.
And if we can all refer back to the agenda, we don't have to actually tell people what to do. It's all there, right? Perfect.
I think it's this link. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Raido, for your information, Gimbal Lab is basically, it's a Gimbal community Gimbal token that kind of a lot of discussion around that, and maybe you want to join, because also a lot of it is about how we are going, what we are doing, how we are going to market it. It's something that goes already for 7 months, 8 months.
And it's a great group of people.
Yeah.
Led by James, who you'll absolutely love. So
is it starting now, is it?
Starting right now. So maybe we can pop over there. Is there any other closing thoughts?
Thanks, everybody.
I'll shut
Thanks,
down.
everyone.